Good evening, everyone, and thank you for being here tonight. I would like to call the governing board meeting of the Lammersville Unified School District to order on Wednesday, October 15th at 7:01 p.m. This meeting is being live streamed and recorded, so I ask that you kindly turn off or silence your cell phones at this time. Members of the public are welcome to speak to the board on items that are on the agenda or during public comment for items that are not on the agenda. If anyone here wishes to speak to the board tonight, there are some blue comment cards in the back of the room. Please fill out one of those and bring it to our executive assistant up front. At this time, I would like to invite Assistant Superintendent Sharp to the podium.
Good evening, President Boulay, trustees, Dr. Nicholas. Thank you for having me this evening. We are going to start off this evening celebrating some students' academic achievement on CASP. CASP is California's statewide system that monitors student proficiency on English language arts, math, and science. Students in 3rd grade through 8th grade, as well as 11th, take part in CASP testing annually, and students in 5th, 8th, and 11th take part in science in addition to math. So to start the evening, we are going to be celebrating academic achievement of students who received 3 perfect scores on CASP. So they received a perfect score in math, English language arts, and science. And those students are going to start off the evening leading us through the Pledge of Allegiance. Those students are 9th graders, let me put my glasses on, Arush Agrawal, Ipshita Vividi, Kathleen Naben, Ananya Sundar, and 6th grade student Arush Kanyala. So if you can come join me at the podium. Everyone can stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Salute pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, students, and congratulations on that amazing accomplishment. Roll call, please.
Lisa Boulay.
Here.
Vanita Daniel.
Here.
Samik Modi.
Absent.
Stephanie Olson.
Here.
David Pombo.
Here.
Donovan Rudish.
Here.
Item 4, approval and/or corrections to the agenda.
There are none.
Move to approve the agenda. Second.
Based on a motion by Trustee Olson and a second by Trustee Daniel, student preferential vote.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries with 4 ayes, no noes, and 1 absent. Item 5, student recognition. Staff report, please.
So we're going to have Assistant Superintendent Sharp, who's coordinating tonight's event, take the lead on this. But this is going to be a school-by-school round robin with a photo opportunity for parents. So I noticed some folks coming in the back, and they're trying to get the angle. But it'll work out quick, but everybody get their cameras ready when it's time to roll. And with that said, Assistant Superintendent Sharp.
Thank you again for having me. Okay, so yes, I'll give some logistics here in just a second. Again, we are recognizing students this evening for perfect scores, not only triple, but we also have students who were recognized for having 2 perfect scores in CASP. This is our second evening of celebrating perfect scores because our students do so well academically that we spread it into 2 evenings. So this is how the logistics will go. Parents, families, each principal will read the names of the students. Students will come along here, receive their certificate from me. They will receive their medals from Dr. Nicholas, come over here to the front where they will await a picture with the board. We will take 1 picture for each school. So parents, if you please wait until everyone's received their medal for a school, we'll have a picture opportunity. Parents will have time to stand up, get your perfect picture, and then students and parents can exit this door as soon as your student is done receiving their recognition so that we can bring in the new set of students and then other parents who might be waiting in the lobby. Okay, so with that, I am going to welcome Dr. Auerbach from Mountain House High School to start off the presentation.
All right, well, good evening, parents. Welcome to the ceremony. We're so excited to have you guys here. Some of you I know are parents of our freshmen here, and we're excited to have your students joining us this year. And we're looking forward to have them over the next 4 years and seeing how they do with us and continuing the tradition of excellence with us in Lammersville. For the students I'm about to recognize, come to us with perfect scores in 3 subject areas, something that is hard to define. I had a student ask me recently, what percentage, Dr. Auerbach, of students in California can achieve this? And I said, comparatively, a fraction of a percent. So I know you can put that on your resume when you're looking to apply to Stanford here. So if I could start from the top by congratulating Arush Agrawal for English, Language Arts, Math, and Science. Also for English, Math, and Science, Ipshita Devedi. For English, Math, and Science, Kathleen Naveen. And lastly, again, for ELA, Math, and Science, Ananya Sundar. Also being recognized for English and Math, Anya Devlal. Being recognized for English and Science, Adwait Gokali. Being recognized for English and Math, Shravani Shwapnil Lad. And being recognized for English and Math, Shiva Rambatla. And for English and Math, Anvita Radakonda. Congratulations, high school. Job well done.
All right, parents, if you want to get ready to get your take this picture. Want to get in there, Adam? Yes.
Don't be shy, don't be slow. Here we go.
All right, parents, come on up, get your picture. This way. All right, about 10 more seconds. All right, another round of applause. Great job. All right, boys and girls, you're going to head out this door right here. Parents and students are over to the left. Okay, next up we have Altamont Elementary. The principal, Ms. Bogle, will be presenting the awards.
Good evening, everybody. I am excited to present the awards for these 2 astounding scholars who have both received this prestigious award for the last 5 years. So first up, we have Palak Bisht. And also Vaibhavi Pediretti.
Come on right here, you're gonna take a picture. Ask if she's got through.
Just hold up your certificate.
Right,
Yeah.
you're the most important right in the middle.
Okay.
Use this tie. There you
All right.
go.
Hold up your certificate. Look this way. Thank you. Big smile. Okay, I'll get
All right. Thank you, students and parents. Off to the left. And next we have Bethany Elementary School and Principal Debbie Ritchie.
Good evening. I am very excited to introduce our Bobcats who have, not just for the first year, for several years, received perfect scores on the CASP assessment. First, we have Alexander Kyle Barraza. Smriti Ganesh. Kaya Murthy. And Donya Shamsodini.
All right, let's give these students a great big round of applause. Thank you, Bethany. You'll head out this door over here. Parents, you can follow your students off to the left. Next up, I have Principal McDonald from Cordis.
Good evening. First, I just want to thank Dr. Nicholas and the board for making this a priority for our students, because we have some amazing students, especially getting one perfect score is awesome, but getting two or more is amazing. So thank you. I really appreciate it. Our first student in ELA and Math, Orzala Azizi. Perfect score in ELA and Math, Ishani Chitala. Perfect scores in Science and Math, Tikshana Dinesh. Perfect scores in ELA and Science, Nayasa Doli. ELA and Math, perfect scores, Akilan Ilango. Perfect scores in ELA and Science, Stella Hu. Perfect scores in ELA and Math, Jod Jessen. Our trifecta, all three perfect scores, ELA, Math, Science, Arush Kanyala. Perfect scores in ELA and Math, Mubashir Mohsen. Perfect scores in ELA and Math, Sahas Mutumu. Perfect scores, ELA and Math, Mohit Pusarla. Perfect scores in ELA and Math, Aditya Prabhakar. Perfect scores in ELA and Math, Tejas Reddy. And lastly, perfect score in ELA and Math, Rishikesh Silam. All right, we need to make two rows. So Josh,
Come on in.
Look that way. There you go.
All right, everyone hold up your certificates. Big smiles. Big smiles, everybody. Not in front of your faces. Okay.
All right, once you gotten your picture, if you could let other people get in there to get their picture.
Upside down.
All right, 5 more seconds. Okay, great job. Let's give these boys and girls a great round of applause. Thank you, Cordis Elementary. Follow Principal McDonald out the door to the left. Next up, we have Principal Karim Pacheco from Costa.
Good evening. Each of our students who are here received a perfect score in both ELA and math. Kanishka Nareshkina. Shantanu Nyogi. And Adya Poduri.
Okay, big smiles, hold up your certificate, not in front of your face.
All right, let's give these boys and girls a great big round of applause. Thank you, Costa. Next up, we have Mrs. Baptista, principal from Hanson Elementary School.
Good evening. I'm proud to be here to present these awards to our students. In perfect score in ELA and math, Anya Atta. Perfect score in ELA and math, Arya Arvind. With a perfect score in ELA and math, Avyuk Davaluri. Perfect score in ELA and math, Shruti Kamath. With a perfect score in math and science, Arna Medam. Perfect score in ELA and math, Darlene Osembi. Perfect score in ELA and math, Vihan Pachipala. Perfect score in ELA and science, Myra Pandy. And with a perfect score in ELA and math, Shamik Raj.
Right, about 10 more seconds. If you've already taken your picture, if you can let others get in the front to take theirs. All right, let's give these ladies and gentlemen a great big round of applause. Thank you, Hanson. Next up, we have Principal Vieira from Cuesta.
Good evening. It is my pleasure to recognize 8 students from Cuesta tonight. First, we have perfect score in ELA and math, Arav Ball. Perfect score in ELA and math, Jaya Dhaliwal. Perfect score in ELA and math, Atharv Dhruv. Perfect score in ELA and math, Raga Mahudashan. Perfect score in ELA and math, Raghu Mashudanan. Perfect score in math and science, Laika Moti. Perfect score in ELA and math, Samuele Pasto. And perfect score in ELA and math, Adit Shah.
Come on over here. See the guy in the blue suit? Right up on him.
Over here, sweetie.
Slide a little bit this way.
This way.
There we go. There we go. There we go.
Good job. Big smile. Hold up your certificate. There you go.
All right, about 10 more seconds. All right, let's give these ladies and gentlemen a great big round of applause. Okay, next up, Principal Duran from Wickland Elementary School.
I am proud to recognize Harry Sturin for a perfect score in ELA and math.
Duran, give me that side. Even it out. Where? Just next to Dave. All right. Okay. Good job. Hold hands.
All right, great big round of applause. Thank you.
You guys go out that way if you want. You go that way. It's okay. It's crowded out here.
I know, it's just kind of like,
To dry. All right.
I'd like to thank Assistant Superintendent Sharp for coordinating all of those recognitions, and congratulations to all the students. Item 6, committee reports. Item A, District Advisory Committee. I'll take that since Trustee Modi is not here tonight. The next District Advisory Committee is November 5th at 6:15 p.m. Item B, District English Language Advisory Committee. And I'm going to give that report tonight. So yesterday, the DLAC committee met, and they talked about updates at all of the school sites. Most of the school sites have completed their reclassification ceremonies for this year. I think there might be one more ceremony later on this week. They've also been holding site-level ELAC meetings for parents and families. Thank you to Director Faubert for leading that meeting. It was actually there was a lot of great discussion at the meeting, and one of the things I heard during the meeting was a lot of the positive comments about our bilingual instructional aids and the curriculum and materials and resources that they are using, along with their training that they're getting from Gabby. So I appreciate all the hard work of our English Learner Department. We also talked about the English Learner Master Plan. It's currently a 3-year plan. Runs from 2024 to 2027. The department's already looking at the plan and getting input from stakeholders to see what revisions need to be made for the next version of the plan. We also talked about the LCAP and how the actions for English learners support each of the 3 LCAP goals. The next meeting will be on January 20th at 6:30. However, the vice principals and the English learner staff decided to meet a half hour before that meeting just to share things like best practices, logistical successes, et cetera. And that's all I have for the DLAC meeting. Item C, Education Committee, Trustee Pombo.
Yes. The next Education Committee meeting is tomorrow night at 6:30 at the Professional Development Center.
Thank you. Item D, Facilities Committee, Trustee Olson.
Yes, the Facilities Committee will be selecting a community member to fill the vacant seat, and that person will be seated by the next meeting in November. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Item E, Policy Committee, Trustee Daniel.
So the first read of policies is currently being reviewed. We are hoping to have it on the board agenda by November 5th.
Thank you. Item F, Safety Committee, Trustee Pombo.
Yes, the Safety Committee met on September 26th. We discussed safety practices at all the sites, as well as potential policy updates upcoming for safety, and that concludes my report.
Thank you. And item G, Wellness Committee. The next Wellness Committee meeting is October 22nd at 3:45 in the Professional Development Center. Item 7, Governing Board Reports. Student Board Member Rudish.
Good evening, President Boulay, Lammersville trustees, Dr. Nicholas. Glad to be back. Very excited. The spooky season is officially in session. We're excited to announce our upcoming high school haunted house and carnival this year on October 30th. Well, there'll be a variety of new games, food, decorations, and likely some screaming. The carnival is open to any and all students, so if you'd like to attend this year, our event will begin at 6:30 p.m. and we will sell tickets at the door. In tradition with Halloween, we're also looking forward to seeing our teachers compete in their annual costume contest. I have to be honest, the history teachers are infamous for stealing the win, so I, along with the rest of the school, rightfully am rooting for the Spanish department this year. I think we can do it. Also, giving a recap on some of the past September events, we've recently had our homecoming dance, our homecoming game, homecoming rally, homecoming parade, and then the homecoming dance mosh pit, which I think is its own experience. There was a good turnout this year. I think we had our highest so far, 1,600 students, and as always, we'll be using the funds from the season to help prepare for our other upcoming events throughout the year. Sports-wise, we also recently finished our last home football game for the year and several of our senior night games for both water polo and volleyball. As of right now, our boys varsity water polo is facing off against East Union Lancers, which started right around 4. So go Mustangs. And then final update related to clubs. I believe the last time I provided an update, Club Rush was still on the horizon. But I'm incredibly excited to say that we've had some really amazing highlights from our groups on campus since then. So starting off with speech and debate, our Mustangs have been working hard this year to make sure that our school stays at the top of the leaderboard. Here's some important and extremely impressive accomplishments our team would like to share. So historically, Mountain House High School has always placed in the top 3 of every YFL across the board in every event. We haven't had a single qualifier tournament in the past 4 years without at least 10 plus people qualifying for either states or nationals. Our speech qualifiers to TOC Tournament of Champions have gone up from 0 to 1 to 6 in 3 years with minimal support. In every California tournament in the past 4 years, we've had at least one Mountain House competitor go through a elimination round. We've accumulated a total of about 20 bids from international tournaments. We placed top 10% at both of the most competitive California-hosted international tourneys. So this includes UC Berkeley and then the Stephen Stewart Milipitas. Our top varsity, which are over 15-member competitors, are all in the top 50 in state. 2 varsity competitors are ranked top 100 speakers in the entire National Speech and Debate League. And our varsity debate team is currently top 20 in the nation, clearing 9 rounds of completion at the international level. So just absolutely incredible. And then going along with our CTSOs, our Career Technical Student Organization Clubs, they've also similarly been making strides in uplifting our campus. In a recent program called the Emerging Business Leaders, which aimed to set up middle schoolers for the high school business pathway, we had over 200 middle schoolers attend the event at the high school daily. Our host of students have been in charge of supporting and teaching these incoming Mustangs, and it's been really amazing to see the opportunities different clubs can offer for younger students wanting to get involved early on. I think it's just incredible, and that concludes my report.
Thank you. And I have to say, I really appreciate your energy and your passion. You're doing a great job. Trustee Daniel.
Thank you, Preston. On September 23rd, I attended the CASP celebration at Hanson. So we did have a CASP celebration here, but then to my understanding, there are so many students who have received single subject perfect scores, and it was nice to be there at Hanson's celebration. I was unable to be at every school, but I just want to congratulate every student who received a perfect score, whether it's a single subject, multi-subject, or not. as a person of, who works in the teaching field, I know it's so difficult to get a perfect score, and with hard work and perseverance is what all of you have achieved. So congratulations to everyone. I also want to do mention that because I talk to students a lot, I hear the aspiration for them to achieve the perfect scores too. So I just want to wish everyone that keep setting that goal. You will be able to reach it. And that was a beautiful event to be at. And then on September 26th, I attended the high school play, which was the 6th, and the drama performance was truly outstanding, and each performer brought the character to life. And for me, it was a treat to watch. And congratulations to the entire drama team. I really wanted to go and watch it one more time. I did enjoy watching it with Trustee Boulay, but I was so tempted to go another day, but I was unable to. But it was just a captivating performance for the audience. So great job to the drama team. I really miss being at the spelling bee yesterday. That is a very close event to my heart. I always try to be there, but I was unable to. But I would like to wish all the participants congratulations, and I would like to wish the winners all the very best for the county spelling bee event. And there ends my report. Thank you.
Trustee Pombo.
Thank you, Madam President. On September 18th, I attended the facilities meeting. On the 24th, I attended the safety committee meeting. On the 25th, I, along with other local CSBA delegates, met with Assemblywoman Ransom to discuss the needs of K-12 education. On the 27th, I, along with Trustee Olson, attended the Mountain House High School play, The Six. It was very well done, and I concur with my fellow trustee that it was very well performed, and the students and staff did a really good job. Earlier today, I attended a CSBA presentation on parents opting out of materials they find objectionable, and that concludes my report.
Thank you. Trustee Olson.
Thank you. I'd just like to begin my report and hope everyone had a great fall break. And for those that did not take a break and were working, I hope they were able to be very productive and get the things done that sometimes are hard to get to when you're focusing on our students. I attended the safety committee meeting on September 24th and the facilities committee meeting on September 18th. And I also attended the city council meeting on September 25th and reported on our district. There were a few gasps from the council members when we shared our enrollment, but nothing we can't handle. And I have attended several football games on October 3rd and October 10th. I got the privilege to also run Shengang again and volunteer. I'm very proud of our team. I think one of the games I was at, they won, and the other game, even though they didn't win, they surprised the team that was supposed to come in and not even let them get a first down. So I was really impressed with the team. And then I was at multiple water polo games, but tonight was the one, the last game. It was senior night for a lot of boys and girls water polo players, and congratulate them on a great season. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. On September 19th, I attended the homecoming parade, which I think I have attended almost every year. I might have missed one, but that parade gets better and better. The floats are more creative every year. And this year, they added the middle school band to the parade. And so I think that was amazing to see that included. And as we grow and have more programs, it's really a great thing to see. After the homecoming parade, I attended the varsity football game. We did not win, but it was a great game nonetheless. On September 24th, I went to Lammersville for a site visit. So I want to thank Principal Beck for showing me around. Lammersville is such a great school. It's one of the uniqueness, I think, of Lammersville is that it's a smaller school and it just has an amazing community, amazing feel. And as a board member, you can actually go into every single classroom when you do a site visit. So that's really cool. On September 26th, I attended SIX, the high school play. And I think the plays also at the high school get better and better as we grow. And one of the things this year, which was really new, was a live band on stage. So that was just a great element to add to our production. So congratulations to the production crew, the actors, the staff. They did a great job. On October 1st, I had a site visit at Bethany. And so I'd like to thank Principal Ritchie for showing me around Bethany. And with my site visits within the last couple of weeks, one of the things that I noticed was I'm just impressed with the creativity that the teachers use for providing instruction, getting the kids involved, the projects they're doing. It's just, the kids honestly look like they're having a good time. So congratulations to all our teachers. Later that day, I attended a cross-country event with our middle school students. It was Costa versus Altamont. It was my first time going to one of the cross-country meets, and so I was really excited to go. And there was a number of parents there with cowbells and noisemakers, and I was jealous of the students who could run so fast because I would like to do that, but they did a great job. On October 2nd, I attended a girls' JV flag football game. And on yesterday, the 14th, I attended the district spelling bee. I would like to thank all of our district staff who put on this event. I'm glad that we still do that. I'd like to thank the classroom teachers, the school sites who do the classroom competitions, the school competitions, and wish the kids moving forward to the county competition the best of luck. And that concludes my report. Item 8, receiving of public comments. I did not get any blue comment cards. Would anybody in the audience like to make a public comment? Seeing none, I will move to item 9, consent items for consideration.
Madam President, we have one item where we had to make a slight adjustment. It was a field trip or an overnight trip for a section F, and it increased by approximately $829. But we've already corrected it on the record on the adjustment. But when the board puts this forward with a motion, it will be as amended.
Thank you. Actions proposed for consent are consistent with the approved practices of the district and are deemed routine in nature. Trustees receive board agenda background information in advance of scheduled meetings and are prepared to vote with knowledge of the consent items. Would anybody like to pull any of these items for discussion or special consideration?
Move to approve consent items.
Second.
And that will be a motion to approve consent items as amended, based on a motion by Trustee Pombo and a second by Trustee Daniel. Student preferential vote?
Aye.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries with 4 ayes, no noes, and 1 absent. Madam Clerk, would you please do the honors?
Yes, we'd like to welcome the following new hires to the Lammersville family. Ranga Aragela, Noon Duty Supervisor. Christine Chang, Special Education Instructional Aide. Christine Olmo, Food Service Worker. Vanita Prakash, Instructional Aide. And Maya Sanchez, Instructional Aide. Welcome to the Lammersville.
Thank you. Item 10, District Administrative Reports. Item A, Superintendent's Report.
Yes, so we're very excited to be able to announce tonight for the first time that the mascot for the Pombo Pumas has been selected through our selection process. And this rendering will be moved forward to our architect, and it will soon be placed on a multi-purpose room basketball floor and T-shirts galore. So congratulations to the Pombo Pumas and their new mascot, which is less ferocious than other ones. All right. Second of all, I was informed this week that our regional honor choir performed exceptionally well at a local contest, which included districts as large as Modesto City Schools. We placed number 1 with the most students being recognized and honored for a total of 29 students. You don't really drop a mic in choir because you have to sing into them. But there was the imaginary mics dropping all over for those 29 kids. So congratulations. The district's board commitment to expanding music opportunities for students is paying dividends. And then lastly, we're going to put something up on the board, and I want everybody to just take a look at this. This is the CASP results in comparison to the East Bay school districts in the area, specifically science. In terms of the outcomes, we're asking everyone to look at the blue bar and see if they notice something that stands out.
I think we need to pick a new district to try to catch.
Wow.
So for those of you in the audience that are confused by my poor directions, the Lammersville Unified School District is now ranked number 1 in student performance CASP with the East Bay high performing school districts by a stellar performance of our students. They went up 5 points plus. We have a new science curriculum the board approved. Our teachers were trained well by our curriculum team. Our teachers taught well, and our students learned. And so we have to maintain that. But at least for the next 365 days, we can maybe bump chests or heads or something.
And where is the cake?
Now, I also say Assistant Superintendent Sharp has a presentation. It's going to be robust. And we did also perform very well in ELA and math. We outpaced the same school districts. However, though we closed the margin, this is the one where we ranked number 1. So we're very proud to announce that. And I think it's okay to let anybody who wants to know, and then some who don't, that we're number 1 in science when compared to the East Bay schools. So congratulations to all. And Madam President, that is my presentation.
Thank you. That's an awesome presentation. Item B, district enrollment report.
We are currently at 8,099 students.
Thank you. And item C, quarterly report on Williams uniform complaints, July 1st through September 30th.
There are no complaints.
Thank you. Item D, district maintenance and operations report. We have Director LeGrand tonight.
Good evening. Thanks for having me. First up is the operations report from Director Dixon. Here's the operations board items for tonight. Deep cleaning projects were worked on over break. No issues with civic permits. No openings in operations at this time. Maintenance report. The pool's been pretty good. Recently, they had a leak in the solar. We got that fixed. The chemicals, the alkalinity, and the calcium are still on the lower side. So I'll be adding more product this Friday, trying to get those raised up. Grounds. I was at a custodial meeting last week with the lead custodians, received some positive feedback from the leads about our new grounds company, so that was nice to hear. They all seem pretty positive about the new company, new changes, so that's a good thing. Last Monday, I had my meeting at the high school with the nuns, Jason Nunn, VP, and Renee Nunn, Athletic Director. So next meeting with them is on the 27th. Last week was fall break, really busy for us. We added 400 yards of fall material at the Wicklow Playground, all 5 boxes. Bay Alarm was here pretty much all week, doing some programming on the intrusion and fire alarm at the new buildings at the high school. On Thursday and Friday, the state inspectors were nice enough to pay us an unannounced visit to inspect all the elevators and wheelchair lifts in the district. They said it's going to be 2 to 3 weeks before I receive their actual paper reports, but they did have an issue with the C building elevator at the high school and the D building elevator at Costa. So I put in tickets with our elevator company to get those looked at ASAP. On the 1st of October, we had a fire reinspection at Lammersville. There's still a couple things we need to do. They're going to come back in 30 days to finish that. On the 24th of September, I had a meeting with Mountain House CSD. They're replacing the playground equipment in Bethany Park, right next to Bethany, and they asked us if they could have access for our fire lane there to get there, similar to what they did last year when they did the basketball court. So I went with them. They expect that project to be done by Thanksgiving, so we know they're about a month and a half. Projects and maintenance issues, new class at the high school. We still have a couple of warranty issues we're dealing with. The contract was out last week dealing with some key card issues, some lock issues. Still have a couple ceiling tiles we're keeping an eye on because the HVAC was leaking in the rooms, but we're working through those. The new irrigation controls for the high school, they've been ordered, and we hope to get those in by the end of this month. Palmville Elementary, we had our construction meeting on site this morning. If you haven't been out there, the site's gone vertical, which is always exciting. The walls are starting to go up for the A building, which is the admin building. They expect to pour the slab for the B building, which is the multipurpose room, within a week. And they're saving time by framing the walls off the slab. So when the concrete's ready, they're ready to stand them up and move on to the next building. The recent rain made it really muddy today. They're doing their best to work around it. There's some standing water. So they're still moving, getting things done. If you haven't been out there, I encourage you to go take a look at it. The bottle filling stations, the facilities committee last meeting approved of us to purchase 10 more bottle filling stations. As soon as we get approval from the board, we'll order those and get those installed. The Montessori, I walked with a contractor again last week. They wanted to remeasure everything, so I should have their final number by Friday. I'll review it with Thor, then bring it to the board for approval. The field at Costa, Thor and I talked before the break. We decided to break that project into two pieces. What we decided to do was do the soccer field sort of extended west and get that field in place so when the K soccer program comes around the spring, the field will be ready for that. That work started last Monday. They were out there all week. It was aerated twice. It was slit seeded. It was hand seeded in some bare areas, and they put an organic compost over everything. And then we put some temporary fence around the area. It has to be no foot traffic for at least 30 days. We will use the same procedure in the spring, May, June range to do the cricket field. The new kindergarten equipment at Wickland, I was asked to work with Principal Duran about getting some additional playground equipment at Wickland in the kindergarten area. They have a lot more little people, I guess, in the area than they're used to, so they want some more stuff to do. So I'm working with her on that. I think we're pretty close to design. The last design I sent her, she said she liked it a lot. I just want to confirm with her before I take it to Thor for approval and then work on the budget and bring it to the board. LED lighting at Lammersville. I've been talking for a while about the PG&E program to get the lighting upgraded at Lammersville. I did a energy audit on Thursday with a company that works with PG&E. It's pretty simple. You just walk all the site, count the number of fixtures, so on and so forth. They will produce a report. I'll review it with Thor and see if it makes sense for us to move forward. They also are optimistic. They think they could do the rest of the schools in Mountain House, which I'm not sure if they can because that's MID instead of PG&E. But I said, if you want to look into it, go ahead and come back to me. So potentially some stuff there. Raised crosswalk at Lammersville. I was contacted by the County Public Works Department a few months ago. They received some complaints about some people speeding in front of Lammersville. So they proposed to create a raised sidewalk in front of Lammersville. So Principal Beck and I, we met with them several times and they sent me emails back and forth, some designs. We have a final design. Looks like it's going to be the east side of where the solar is, straight across the street. The neighbors across the street have to agree, and they agreed to put the crosswalk in. So now we're just waiting for a timeline to get it installed. And they're covering all the costs, so it's no charge to the district. So scoreboard for the MP room at Lammersville. Principal Beck asked me to help her. They're raising money to buy a scoreboard for the multipurpose room. So I was working with her on that. I got some options for her. The first option they wanted was really, really too big for that small room, and it was going to be around $10,000. So I got sort of a medium-sized board, around $6,000. I talked to Thor, and we decided it'd be a great use of youth facilities funds. So that'll be going to the facilities committee in the next meeting, which I think is in November. So, the field at Lammersville, the field behind the portables where they put the new septic in, it didn't bounce back as well as we were hoping. So we are working with our grounds contractor to get a plan in place to reseed it or whatever we're going to do, similar to what we're doing at Costa right now. So I have a meeting with them next week to talk about the process, the timeline, and so on and so forth. We have been dealing with a mystery sewer smell at Lammersville. You guys may have heard about it. So we've been looking at it for several weeks now. and it seems to pop up in random places around the campus. In the beginning, it was right outside Principal Beck's window and between the alleyway right there. And if you stood in one spot, you'd smell it. If you moved over 5 feet away, you wouldn't smell it. So it was really bizarre the way it was moving around the campus. Later the coming week, it started sliding down between the portable, between the staff room down that way. We've been trying to find it. We've been on the roof. We had the plumbers come out and do a smoke test between room 1 and the septic to make sure nothing's leaking. That came back negative. I had the septic tank installer come out to check the system. It's working fine. I met with the engineer last Tuesday. We walked the campus again to see what's going on. To make compound matters, the custodian was putting milk down the storm drain, which is behind the kitchen, not connected to the septic tank. But that storm drain has been plugged for years. I think even when Irene was principal there, it was plugged. Whoever installed it put a corrugated pipe in about 8 inches. Corrugated pipe have holes in it. It was stuffed with dirt and tree roots and all kinds of stuff. So started last week, we dug all that out. They got about 40, 50 feet in. They had the point connection to the one that's behind the sink. They're coming back Monday to finish that job up, hopefully. So we'll take that out of the mix too, but that was not a very pleasant smell. We opened that up as well. So the consensus seems to be that the smell is coming from the vent pipes on the roof, and the wind is taking it and carrying it, pushing it down somewhere around the campus, different places, depending on which way the wind blows. And then the second thing is, what they're telling me is there's a biological process that needs to happen in that new tank, right? Things have to break down naturally. I was pouring some enzyme down there to try and maybe speed up that process, and they told me to stop doing it, so I quit doing that. But there's a natural process that's gonna take a little time, sort of a break-in period, for lack of a better term, on the new septic tank. And so that may take a few weeks. And in the meantime, we're gonna install charcoal filters on all the vent pipes on the multipurpose room, rooms 1, 2 building, rooms 3 through 6 building, and all the portables along the staff lounge and so on, down to room 13. So that'll help some of the odors that's coming out of the vent pipes, and hopefully that should solve the problem. So anyways, and for us staffing, we don't have any openings currently. And that's pretty much all I have.
Thank you. That was a lot. Any questions from the board? Great job. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, pretty long.
No, that's awesome. Item 11, action items. Item A, consider approval of contract with Behavioral and Education Consulting Incorporated for a registered behavior technician for the 2025-2026 school year. Total cost $59,730. Staff report, please.
Yes, this is an IEP-driven action item, and we recommend approval.
Move to approve of contract with Behavioral and Education Consulting, Inc. for a registered behavior technician for the 2025-2026 school year. Total cost $59,730.
Second. I have a question for the superintendent. You said this is a IEP-driven,
Correct.
and this is coming out of the general fund, correct?
Correct.
Thank you.
Based on a motion by trustee Olson and a second by trustee Pombo, student preferential vote?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries with 4 ayes, no noes, and 1 absent. Item B, consider approval of school facilities impact mitigation agreement with Shea Homes. Staff report, please.
Yes, this is actually a really important item. In order to finish the construction of Costa Elementary School, we went through about a 2-year-long negotiation with 2 developers, and the College Park area doesn't have the same set of rules and hadn't had the same set of commitments related to the Mountain House Master Plan. In spite of 2 years of effort, it was in the business plan of the developers that they realized that the best thing for their bottom line was to not do anything. So the school district, Lammersville Unified, essentially subsidized the final $18 million of the construction at Costa. So we knew that was a bad thing to happen in the front side of this, but we also knew that eventually they'd want to build houses, and then we would be able to expose them our understanding of how development works, and that they had to resolve the matter of paying us back with interest. And so this is one of 3 agreements The first was successfully conducted with Pulte, who's currently building homes on the we'll say southeast side of, or actually the northeast side of the College Park area. This Shea Homes project is, there's a series of long-standing houses to the south part of the Costa campus. This is what will be developed on the south side of those houses all the way to where the houses are currently built. The Pulte project is 286 units. The Shea project is 266 units. So all in total, the district will get all of its money back. It'll get interest based on the Marshall Swift Index for that $18 million, we'll call it fronting, for the project, and each pro rata share from each of these builders. And then finally, we made the builders also pay the interest on the Cordis finance because they delayed our ability to pay that financing off because we had to use those funds to complete the construction. So good job by all. So we, with a big smile on our face, recommend approval.
Thank you. And Dr. Nicholas, I really want to thank you for your diligent work on this agreement. I know it took a lot of time and a lot of back and forth negotiations. So thank you for your persistence. Any comments or questions from the board?
Move to approve of school's facility impact mitigation agreement with Shea Homes.
Second.
Based on a motion by trustee Pombo and a second by trustee Daniel, student preferential vote?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries with 4 ayes, no noes, and 1 absent. Item C, consider approval of Governing Board Resolution 25-26-04, determining that property is annexed to Lammersville Joint Unified School District Community Facilities District Number 2024-1, Mountain House School Facilities, directing recordation of a notice of the annexation and a map of the annexation, and approving a related deposit and reimbursement agreement. Staff report, please.
All right, that was a lot of words, but what it really means is you can't generate funds if you're not in the CFD. So by annexing this new home project, we are able to place this project into the CFD 2024-1 that the board approved about, I want to say last summer. So by making this approval, then it kicks in the mechanism that's associated with Mello-Roos bond sales and everything else. This project is a new home project. If you go to what is formerly known as the Bridge to Nowhere and look to the right, or which would be southeast, there's a small project going on there by downtown, and that's the project this is associated with.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from the board?
Move to approve of Governing Board Resolution Number 25-26-04, determining that property is annexed to Lammersville Joint Unified School District Community Facilities District Number 2024-1, Mountain House School Facilities, directing recordation of a notice of the annexation and a map of the annexation, and approving a related deposit and reimbursement agreement.
Second.
Based on a motion by trustee Olson and a second by trustee Pombo, student preferential vote?
Aye.
This is a roll call vote, please.
Lisa Boulay.
Aye.
Vanita Daniel.
Aye.
Samik Modi.
Absent.
Stephanie Olson.
Aye.
David Pombo.
Aye.
Motion carries with 4 ayes, no noes, and 1 absent. Item D, consider approval of Governing Board Resolution 25-26-05, determining that property is annexed to Lammersville Joint Unified School District Community Facilities District Number 2019-1, Mountain House School Facilities, directing recordation of a notice of the annexation and a map of the annexation, and approving a related deposit and reimbursement agreement. Staff report, please.
Yes, this is almost exactly the same staff report as C, with one exception is when I was referencing the $18 million that we put forward for construction, the final piece to that was the old school site in B. So the two developers that chose not to participate in completing a mitigation agreement, this is the third of the 3 projects. So Pulte, we have an agreement. Shea, the board just approved the agreement. And this is KB Homes, who is the successor of interest. And they have the language, and they're going through it, and we should have a signed agreement with them as well, which would complete that entire negotiation to redeem all of our fronted funds. So we recommend approval.
Thank you.
Move to approve Governing Board Resolution 25-26-05, determining that properties annexed to Lammersville Joint Unified School District Community Facilities District Number 2019-1, Mountain House High School Facilities, directing recordation of a notice of the annexation and a map of the annexation, and approving a related deposit and reimbursement agreement.
Second.
Based on a motion by trustee Daniel and a second by trustee Olson, student preferential vote.
Aye.
This is another roll call vote, please.
Lisa Boulay.
Aye.
Vanita Daniel.
Aye.
Samik Modi.
Absent.
Stephanie Olson.
Aye.
David Pombo.
Aye.
Motion carries with 4 ayes, no nos, and 1 absent. Item 12, information and discussion items. Item A, 2025 summer school reports. Staff report, please.
We'll have Assistant Superintendent Sharp introduce our well-known speakers to give a brief report on the outcomes of summer school. But before she introduces our speakers, again, every year I say this, but this board has made a commitment to summer school. We only really have to do credit recovery and ESY. But there's a significant investment to our students who struggle at the K-8 level, which pay dividends, and then across the district with the high school opportunities that are above and beyond credit recovery. So the board should be acknowledged for its wisdom in their commitment to this endeavor.
Good evening, President Boulay, trustees, Dr. Nicholas. Thank you for having me. This evening, we will have 3 people speaking to summer school. We will have Principal Pacheco, Vice Principal Cassie Skelton, and then Dr. Faubert will each have a role in this presentation. So if they could go ahead and come up.
Good evening, President Boulay, members of the board, Dr. Nicholas. Thank you for having me to report out on the K-7 summer school. I'm excited to say that we had quite a bit of attendance and some happy faces coming into summer school, which isn't always the case. The administration was myself and Kimberly Tinsley, who is the office supervisor at Costa Elementary School. Before I start, I want to just acknowledge Vice Principal Clegg and also Vice Principal Young, because they have created kind of a plug and play version of the summer school program. They've done an amazing job. It made it very easy to come in and kind of take over the way that they've done summer school and the successes that they have had. So I'm thankful for them. Our summer school staff is listed here. It's also wonderful to say that most of these summer school teachers are returning from doing summer school at least once, some of them twice. I think that also contributes to the success of the program, because our Lammersville teachers are trained and fluid in first instruction. They know our materials, they've done summer school and know the curriculum for summer school, and we're happy to have them coming back each year. We had an extended school year for students who have ESY listed in their IEPs. We had teachers also from Lammersville Unified, as well as ESY classroom aides. Each classroom had 2. And again, all but one of these instructional aides is another returning staff members from previous years. We had several students from Mountain House High School volunteer, and they came consistently. They worked very hard. I want to thank Mrs. Skelton for organizing and facilitating the volunteers and sending them over. They assisted in the classrooms. They assisted in our incentive store, which was our attendance incentive program. I also want to thank the IT they developed a QR code. So we had students the first few days coming in. They wanted to know where to sign in. They weren't sure. The IT department developed a QR code, so the kids came in, they scanned it with their phone, clocked them in, they'd scan out, clock them out, and went directly to a spreadsheet to report their hours. So that was very productive. We had 567 invitations sent out to families. Students were identified by teachers and administration from each school site as needing to kind of be retaught and regain some of their skills that they were below on or needed extra help. When we started, we had 241 students. We had 50 students in ESY. 191 were enrolled in K-7. On the final day of school, we had 206, which is an 86% attendance rate. Our extended school year program is for students who have an IEP and need extra support in skills that they would possibly regress on over the summer break. So they need to have consistent and regular instruction through the summer so they don't retain or lose any of the skills they have. In addition to that, it is important for our students to remain consistent on their routines. So they're able to come to summer school, continue with their regular routine, and also have time to socialize with their peers. So the criteria, again, is the rate of recoupment and the presence of a disability that may result in regression of goals if they have an interruption in their program. For ESY, each student works on their individual goals, and the teachers track their progress based on those specific goals. So all of the data that's related to our ESY students is reported directly to our specialized education department. Here's a breakdown of our student population. We had 10 students in K to kindergarten. We had 13 first and second, 8 third and fourth, 13 fifth and sixth, 6, 7, 8, and we had an extended needs class that was 6 students. So these are the totals of our ESY. Here is a breakdown of our total K-7 enrollment general education. So you can see kindergarten was split between 3 classrooms. We wanted to make sure that they had focused instruction with a teacher that was a small group. We still had smaller numbers in each of the classes, but we wanted to make sure that kindergarten had focused attention there. So we had first grade, each classroom had 9. Second grade, one had 17, one had 18. Third grade, 15, 16. Fourth, 10 and 10. Fifth grade had 21 students. Sixth grade had 20. We also had some of the fifth and sixth graders combine for their math instruction if they were performing at the same level so that we could have small group instruction that was targeted that way with more students. And seventh grade, we had 17, and they consistently came, so I was very impressed. We use the same curriculum that we have used in the past. Focused math intervention we use on a regular basis during the school year, so our teachers and our students are very familiar with that. We use focused reading intervention, Step Up to Reading, Aspire, and Be a Reading Star. So here is the data from our pre-tests and post-tests, so beginning of summer school to the end of summer school, and you can see that we had significant growth in each of those areas. Our kindergartners measured growth was 18% progress. First grade gained 21%. Second grade was still. Third grade 6%. Fourth 7%. Fifth grade 25%. Sixth 3%, and seventh grade 5%. Our reading data is broken down by grade level as well as the curriculum that they used in the classrooms. So you can see that overall in reading, each of our grade levels had significant growth across those summer school weeks. Our students who attended summer school were identified using their winter map data. So we selected the students based on winter because that's the data we had at the time when we put the summer school list together. They also had a spring map assessment, but we didn't have those percentages yet. So this data is from their winter map, which is what classified or qualified them for the summer school program, and then their fall map that they just completed. So overall, you can see the growth in math and reading, several points. And what was really nice to see is we have in our map reports color-coded proficiency bands. And when I was looking at these students and seeing their scores jump from one color to the next color, I was sitting there at my desk going through each one going, oh my God, yay, yay, yay. So it was just a neat thing to see our students who were near proficient, who are now in the proficient band, and students who were below grade level moving up into the near proficiency. That was really exciting to see. We did have attendance incentives, which helped with our attendance. We had a store every Friday. The students had tickets for every day they attended. they could spend the tickets every Friday, or they could save them up to the end of summer school, and it was very exciting. They got to go in every week and select something for their attendance. And then I think overall, our biggest incentive was that summer school is fun. The teachers had engaging lessons. They had fun things planned. Students did their math lessons, their ELA lessons, their reading lessons, but teachers had engaging science and STEM opportunities for them as well. So they were happy to come, and we were able to keep them coming every day. Can you play that, or do I need to play it with the... Yeah. I think this might be me, because I said it might be me, because it's always me that has a video that's not. Maybe, do I have to sign in? It's in Google. Ah. So again, thank you for promoting summer school, and every year advocating for it and approving it, because we can see the students, we can see their progress, and it's leaps and bounds, and we can see it at our school sites as well. So thank you again.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes.
It's just a curious question. So you mentioned there were 10 to 15 high school volunteers this year. So I'm just curious to understand, was there a waiting list for the volunteers, or it was just 10 to 15, or did you have like a wait list of interested kids?
That would be a wonderful question for this lady behind me.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Any other questions from the board?
I had a quick question. Sorry. Just looking at the classrooms and the students in the classrooms, I saw that fifth grade they had 21 people. Most seemed split by half. Was there a reason that all the students were clumped together in one classroom for fifth grade?
For fifth grade, we had one teacher who was very, very experienced in the fifth grade. And so we pulled the students in her classroom, and then we pulled students out, because when we put them there, we had data that showed that some of them could be paired with sixth grade for reading or math, and some that could be paired with fourth grade. So we knew that those students that she identified could be mixed with other classes, so that she didn't have them all the time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate the report.
you.
Great job.
Good evening. Good evening, Dr. Nicholas, President Boulay, and all of the Board of Trustees. So I wanted to start with answering your question. We do have a long waiting list of students who are very eager to volunteer. Actually, there were approximately 40 students who were interested in tutoring, specifically K-8. I recommended all 40 students to go over to Hanson, and actually we had to end up turning some away over and turning into the ELOT program. We did have some students who did have various vacations throughout summer. We did really want committed students to keep the consistency for our students who are receiving extra services over summer. And so that's why we have the 10 to 15 who are truly dedicated students who showed up daily.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so tonight I'm just going to overview Mountain House High School's 2025 summer program. We have several different programs that run over in summer school, which I know everyone here is familiar with. That would be our credit recovery, our Math 1 acceleration, also known as the Summer Skipper program, and the Summer Bridge program, which is when our 8th grade students are coming in to the high school as 9th graders. My ultimate goal tonight is just to really highlight the progress that we've made and the positive outcomes. Before I do begin begin, I do want to say thank you to both Principal Pacheco and Principal Beck. They did a lot of work in that prior year and provided a great way for me to kind of just pick up and build from, as well as Dr. Faubert providing all the support in the interim as we set up the summer school program. So for staffing, I do it. Sorry, I'm new to that. Okay, so our summer school overview. This summer we had 18 teachers. The year prior we had 19. That is because we did not have any ESY students this year, so we were decreased by one teacher since we did not require a special education teacher this summer. We had one counselor, which was our returning counselor, Mrs. Williams. We had one secretary who is a new secretary for summer, but is our attendance clerk at the high school, which is Mrs. Salvam. We had myself as administrator, and I was very fortunate to have an intern vice principal to assist through summer. So that was a wonderful help for us. So over at the high school, we had 40 peer tutors that were dedicated to us at the high school who came and worked with the homeroom teachers with a schedule that would work for both the homeroom teacher and the students. So they did all communication with those lead teachers in organizing the times in which they came and how to best support students. Our primary focus here for summer school, as always, is credit recovery and college eligibility. So just as a reminder, only students who have D's or F's are eligible to attend our summer school program, and that ensures that we again have students who regain essential credits for graduation as well as maintain their UC and CSU eligibility. Each student was assigned a homeroom teacher, which is the same as similar years. This teacher was responsible to track progress, communicate with families, and also ensure accountability for our students in making progress in the program. For communication, we highly emphasize family engagement throughout this summer. I hosted two pre-recorded virtual orientations, one for Summer Skipper and one for our high school students that was pushed out along with our handbook through Parent Square to both students and our parents and families. One thing that was different this year is that we pre-enrolled a lot of our high school students who met the eligibility requirements. So even if they weren't planning to attend, they received all of this communication and had to opt out of summer school to stop receiving my communication. Each day, daily updates were provided to both homeroom teachers. The counselor also provided daily communication to our students who were on track or needing extra support throughout summer. I, as well as my secretary, provided daily communication home because I was monitoring both participation and integrity of the program, and my secretary was constantly communicating attendance. So students were tardy, not there, late, or behind. This summer, we continue the same programs as we have in the past. The one major difference is that we did pilot a program through Subject that was for Spanish 1 and 2. So we did offer recovery for our world language courses this summer with that pilot program. When it comes to summer school enrollment, I do want to make a correction that I do have here in the chart. It has a total of 344 students. Just for the record, it's actually 263 students. That 344 is accidentally incorporating our duplicated students. So we served 263 students collectively. So in total, they did earn a total of 2,140 credits. 179 of the 263 were students who completed one course. From that 263, 81 students completed 2 courses over summer. And then we had 84 students who participated in Math 1 and Summer Skipper. So again, that 81 is duplicated. It's not additional students, it's just of the 179, 81 of those students also completed a second course. So just speaking a little bit to the tutoring program, I kind of preemptively talked about this, but each summer we do have high school students who volunteer their summer to work with us. During that time, they do pick the specific areas in which they feel confident in supporting. We needed a lot of math and physics students this year. We actually were looking for a lot of chemistry students as well. So we had a lot of tutors who were coming in, providing much support in those subject areas. Math as well as science did affect each one of our homeroom classrooms, so we made sure we had a tutor who could do those subjects in each one of those rooms. Again, we had 40 dedicated tutors, and every tutor could earn up to 4 hours per day for tutoring throughout the entire summer. This summer, we also did a checkout process. So in order to strengthen the accountability and the consistency of the program, we did add to our credit verification process this summer. So what this process was is that our students were required to meet with their counselor at the end of completing a course. The intention of this meeting was to verify that the course was complete and that they had either a plan to recover any future credits that they still needed to do that they may not have been able to complete over summer, or get enrolled into a second course. After they went ahead and met with the counselor, they then came over to me as administrator. During that time, I reviewed Go Guardian as well as our Ingenuity assessments, pulling them up and reviewing to making sure that we held academic integrity throughout the entirety of their summer school program. Upon that process, they then received their credits if they met the integrity piece, or they proceeded on to their second course. For credit recovery, students could complete up to 2 courses over summer. So we just continued the same practice that they've had in prior years, where course 1 was unlocked. It had to be completed and verified, and then we would unlock course 2. That was, again, to make sure that our students were staying engaged and at least completing 1 course and walking away with credit, rather than trying to work on 2 courses simultaneously and unfortunately not finishing either one of those courses at the end of summer. One thing that we did do this year were tardies. So to reinforce structure and the responsibility of our students were required to arrive on time to their homeroom teacher, and they were marked tardy if they came after 9:15 a.m. Those tardies were then communicated home directly to the parents that same day by both the teacher and the office. So this maintained open communication with families and also letting them know the importance of coming to school on time. Because if they did fall behind and had 6 tardies, at that point we did have another meeting with both parents and students to make a decision of whether or not the student would complete the program on time. I would say that with our high school students, that did increase their ability to come in on time. So any student who arrived past 9:30 a.m., they were marked absent, as we're in an accelerated part of summer. So I would say that we only had 2 instances of students showing up past 9:30. After the first conversation with parents, they were showing up on time. So for the next piece, this is the academic integrity piece. This slide just further elaborates on the strength and accountability and consistency of that credit verification for all students. Although there were 15 students who were removed for academic dishonesty, I just want to highlight again that we had 263 students who did complete the programs, either 1 or 2 courses, with full integrity. These 15 students happened in the first 2 weeks of school, and then we did the right steps moving forward so that we did not have reoccurring occurrences throughout summer. In our Math 1 acceleration program, so again, Summer Skipper, we had 132 incoming freshmen who did start Summer Skipper in March. 84 of the 132 actually ended up completing Summer Skipper and passing the course with an A or a B. So this was a 64 completion rate. So based on the data I had from last year, it did go up by 3% in completion this year. Lastly, our summer bridge program. So our bridge program provided focused ELA and math intervention, so the same curriculum that we use in the K-7s. It is a continuation of the interventions they were already receiving at their K-8 schools. Again, this was provided to all freshmen. There were 75 students who were invited based on the K-8 recommendations. Of that 75 students, 33 students were enrolled. So that was up 19 from the year prior for enrollment. Again, receiving small group instruction and counseling support in both ELA and math. Attendance did drop though mid-session. So about middle of summer, we did decrease significantly in enrollment as again, summer traveling, students just not attending. So we did see the first half. During that time when I was looking at data, we saw meaningful gains. However, I did not include data in here because we did not have that consistent attendance. It would not really truly speak to the growth that the kids could have had they stayed in that program. Just in summary, our summer 2025 program, again, provided that essential credit recovery, expanded on that college eligibility for our students, and then we provided support for student growth with the use of tutors.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments from the board?
Thank you. Thank you for the presentation. I do have a question about the 15 students you mentioned, the academic dishonesty. So to my understanding, you mentioned if they start with course 1, and if there is academic dishonesty, then are they allowed course 2? Or?
No, they're removed completely from program per handbook policy. So in the handbook for summer school, we have in there that anytime that a student has academic integrity, use of AI, plagiarism, any sorts of things, using Googling up answers, they are removed from the program because they are not upholding the integrity of that online program. And so at that point, a conversation's had with parents that they may need extra time and extra support that you can get during a regular school year so that they can successfully complete the class. So no, they did not get to move on to course 2.
Great, thank you. I appreciate the program, the academic dishonesty, like just analyzing, because it must have been a lot of technical analysis to go through to figure out the set of dishonest kids. But that's a lesson, that's a life lesson. So I really appreciate the program overall. But thank you.
I just had a question. You mentioned a grade in the math skippers class. Does that grade follow them to high school? Is that like their first high school grade?
Yes. So a lot of times with the numbers that we saw this year with the students who didn't complete, there were quite a few who had C's. And there is sometimes that misunderstanding that this is a high school credit class. And so when they see that C, we do provide them the opportunity to disenroll so that they don't have that on their transcript, because as soon as they do accept that grade, it's on there.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. So I want to thank both of our summer school principals for all the work that they did. I provided support for them, but really very self-sufficient. I appreciate all the work they did and the support that they gave to the teachers and the students. So I'm going to finish us out with just a short report of the ELOP summer program. We continued this program this year. Again, the ELOP program, it's during the regular school year program that includes a summer learning program as well. We're required to offer 9 hours of school for our students. Some of those students in the ELOP program this summer were also enrolled in our K-7 summer school program, so they would participate in that in the morning and come in the afternoon to the ELOP program. Focuses on developing academic, social, emotional, and physical needs, and lots of hands-on engaging learning experiences. You might imagine 9 hours during the summer can be difficult, so we try to get things going for those kids that's really interesting and fun to do. You'll see our enrollment here at the 3 different schools that we had and the different schools that were served at each site. During the regular school year, we have an ELOP program at each site, but we centralize them in 3 different sites so that travel is not an issue for any of our students, and they're able to get to those places. You'll notice Hanson where the summer school was. It's our largest because we concentrated all those summer school kids who were also in ELOP at that one site. These are the targeted standards for ELOP: active, engaged learning, youth voice and leadership, diversity, access, and equity. Just some pictures from our summer program. Active, engaged learning, we had hands-on project-based STEM projects, collaborative learning, and critical thinking going on. You'll see some hands-on activities, some things that the students were able to work with their hands and in groups together. With our youth voice and leadership, it's very important that we get the children's ideas and what they want to see during that. A lot of these ELOP students are also the same ELOP students during the school year. Again, these are unduplicated students first, who fill the spots, and our unduplicated students are English language learners, our students who are low income and foster and homeless youth. And in addition to that, the extra spots that are available are offered on a lottery basis. And so we asked the students what they want. They created clubs during the summer. We had a chess club and a coding club, and we even had high school volunteers who came out to teach robotics this summer with our Lego kits. Diversity, access, and equity is important. And with that, we had an end of summer talent showcase at each of the sites. It was really fun to see the kids, in addition to the performances that they had all around the multi-use rooms, they displayed all of their work from the different classrooms that they had. And we do have a great staff. We've a few years ago, if you might remember, it was rough trying to get that many people to start up our program. I was just commenting today to my assistant that it's kind of a coveted program to become an ELOP aide because it's a good foot in the door, and we provide really great training for our ELOP aides. In fact, many of our ELOP aides, it's kind of to our detriment that we train them so well, because many of them then quit and become aides in our district because they've got the training that they need. But it benefits our whole district because then we have aides who have, and these aides, remember, are in the classroom without a credentialed teacher next to them. They are running the programs themselves. So sometimes they even get more experience than our classroom aides do and are very confident when they come out and work in our district with other populations of students. We also had a lot of collaborative partnerships. The Mountain House Fire comes every year and sprays water all over the kids in the hot sun. We had virtual field trips from the Aquarium of the Pacific that were then coupled with instruction in the classroom. We had, every year we bring the shed skin assembly. He's the guy that brings the snakes and all the reptiles and things like that. And this year, my favorite, I don't have a picture of it, but we had the petting zoo and they had the cutest pig, and it made me want a pet pig. But it's a great fun time. Kids don't want to leave that on the day of the petting zoo. Neither do I. And that was our ELOP program and our overall summer program. Thank you so much, President Boulay, Dr. Nicholas, and board members. Thank you so much for listening. And if there are any questions.
I have a comment. It's to you and pretty much everyone in the district. I know some districts farm out their ELOP funding and they hire outside agencies to run it. And I am just really impressed with the work that our district has done to build up the program. And I mean, that's a lot of work on HR end for hiring these people, coming up with the curriculum you use in the classroom to instruct these kids and keep them busy for 9 hours a day. But I don't think you could look anywhere else and say that they do it better. And I'm just really proud of the work that you've done. I think it's impressive. And so I just wanted to say congratulations on that. And then I guess my other question was, I know that ELOP, there's certain students that are prioritized.
Yes.
And of those students, do you have a rough percentage of how many students took advantage of ELOP over the summer?
I don't have it off the top of my head. I do have that. There's another presentation I believe that we make before the beginning of summer where we have those numbers, and I give you the previous years. But I definitely can get you that information. I do want to say too that you're right. Thanks to the direction of the board and Dr. Nicholas and the help of Assistant Superintendent Sharp, it was the right way to go to do it internally. You're right. There's a lot of other districts who farm it out to Boys and Girls Club or other organizations that are out there trying to. It was hard to do in the first place, but now that it's in place, our ELOP coordinator is actually on a statewide advisory committee. There's a panel that she's a part of, and people are asking us, wait, what are you guys doing over there? How did you do that? And so again, Lammersville, because of your direction and the support of the district administration, we're really stepping out in front of everyone else and giving everyone else really good ideas.
Thank you.
Great job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item B, 2023-2024 Teaching Assignment Monitoring Outcomes, TAMO, by full-time equivalent FTEs. Staff report, please.
Yes, I'm looking forward to giving this presentation. This is a have-to from the state. It's a mandate. It's something we already do in various forms, including the board voting to allow staff to hire teachers that are individuals that are in programs or going to be joining programs to make sure during a teacher shortage and a long-standing teacher shortage to fill our classrooms. So I want to thank Director Barrios who wrote this tome and dedication to the TAMO program. The state has mandated that we give this. The district reports teacher assignment and credential data through CalPads using the California Basic Educational Data System, CBEDS, Snapshot, date, and that happens the first Wednesday in October, as the official reference point using ARIES data, which houses both courses and teacher data. The Commission on Teacher Credentialing, the CTC, verifies each teacher's credentials and authorizations in its database. The CDE, better known as the California Department of Education, matches the CalPAS data with CTC credential information to check whether teachers are properly assigned. This happens in March of each year. In the fall of the next school year, not that year, but the next school year, the raw data is reported through the California Statewide Assignment Accountability Systems, or CalSAS, and districts can clean up errors, if possible. So we just reviewed the raw data for 24-25 in September, a year hence. Then each teacher's assignment is classified in the TAMO categories. And remember that the very exciting title of this is Teacher's Assignment Monitoring Outcomes. So this is summarized, and these outcomes are published through DataQuest on the TAMO for public viewing after the review process. And through this incredible matrix and labyrinth of activities through the bureaucracy of the state, we are able to present to the board data that is 2 years old on our staffing. And that is my report.
Thank you.
You had way too much fun reading that.
Yeah.
And I know we've had this discussion before, but just in case anybody new is looking at this report, there is a title called ineffective, which is totally, I think, a misnomer in terms of what that identifies.
Thank you for bringing that up. I think there's a couple of terms in there that are asinine and are insulting to all educators. And whoever wrote those words down and approved them should be ashamed of themselves. In the board packet, in the overview, those ridiculous words for this case are given real definitions, and sometimes it means someone hadn't completed their paperwork or they were waiting for something to be approved. So to use those words to the detriment of individuals who teach or want to teach and to districts is below standard.
Agreed.
Perhaps we should send the state a thesaurus.
Well, I was thinking that's one area that we can use our legislative functions to kind of get people moving to change the terms that really don't fit what they are supposed to identify. So.
I agree. And maybe we can get our English majors to come up with a better word for each of those to use, to recommend to the state.
I completely concur with that because they are such negative words.
Mm-hmm.
And for a profession which is so much service oriented, those words do not fit. They need to be changed. I'm with you on that.
Thank you. Okay, item 13, calendar. Item A, Thursday, October 16th is the Education Committee meeting at 6:30 in the Professional Development Center. Item B, Wednesday, October 22nd is the Wellness Committee meeting at 3:45 at the Professional Development Center. Item C, Wednesday, November 5th is the District Advisory Committee at 6:15 here in the District Office Boardroom. Following that, on Wednesday, November 5th is the next regular Governing Board meeting at 7 o'clock. In a moment, we are going to adjourn to closed session where we will discuss the following. Item A, Public Employee Discipline Dismissal Release Complaint, Government Code Section 54957. And item B, Conference with Real Property Negotiators, Government Code Section 54956.8.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Based on a motion by Trustee Pombo and a second by Trustee Olson, student preferential vote.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries with 4 ayes, no, and 1 absent. We are now adjourned to closed session at 8:39 p.m. Thank you, everyone.